right, and welcome to the latest episode of The Last Resort with Chris and Joe.
Yeah.
This is episode 19 on, what is it, June 19th?
Yes.
June
19th.
June
We
19th,
planned it that way.
2013.
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah, I'm Joe.
Who's our guest?
Well, our guests are Cash Morgan and...
Cash is not our guest.
He's our regular guest. Yeah. He's our Batgirl.
With us as always.
Yeah. So, and we have you, Kyle Anderson. Kyle Anderson.
Thanks, Joe.
He is the Ginger Jew.
Apparently.
According to a friend of ours named Curtis. So shout out to Curtis.
Is it because of the long straight hair?
Yeah, it's being ginger.
Actually, it's because I'm cheap, really.
It's a reference to South Park.
And are you Jewish? Oh,
yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Now I get you.
Yeah.
You're not Jewish, right?
No.
I thought because of the long hair, he looked like Jesus, who was actually
a
Jewish.
Jew. Oh.
No, all right.
Yeah.
That's
all right.
Maybe that's Kyle's, not Kyle's, Curtis's reasoning.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably also because his name is Kyle, and Cartman calls Kyle the Ginger Jew.
Oh. There's that.
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah.
So as always, we have Cash.
That's twice they said that.
Yeah, as always. And
well, I said it, and I don't know. Goldie had to also.
Yeah, I forgot.
Also, he had to say.
We're in a new place recording today.
Yeah.
We're
first and last.
Yeah, probably. Well, no, we'll probably try to do it next time. Yeah, all summer as long as school's out.
Yeah.
For the summer.
Gotta get away.
Conceivably, we could even do it not during the summer.
If there's no class.
Right.
Yeah.
On an off night.
Yeah, an off night. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about Joe and I, my girlfriend, and Autumn saw Man of Steel at ArcLight Hollywood.
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
Go.
Before you get into the story, though, usually we would go around and if there was anything new or any like.
Oh, that's what we're going to do.
It's been a while.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
It should end on you guys, and then you say that story because that's what you've been doing lately.
Because
usually you would give our guest the chance to say if he's going.
I'm out of practice. It's been like a month.
That's why I'm here to remind you. That's why. That's why you shouldn't do the show without me. Like,
Kyle, what have you been up to, sir? I haven't seen you in forever.
It's true. I've been away from this wonderful land. Thank God. But
that is Crafton.
That is Crafton. Now I've been going to Cal State Fullerton, doing the for theater.
Theatron.
Yes. So I've been doing
with
that
an RE.
With an RE. Oh, goodness. They're really snooty about it too. It's
everything I put theater is RE.
What was it?
And my phone constantly wants to correct me. And I'm like, fuck you, iPhone.
There was something, I don't remember what it was that I saw.
Not theater.
It was referring to a movie theater. I don't remember what it was now, but it was something that was referring to a movie theater, but they spelt it with a RE. I was like, what?
Yeah,
it's completely the opposite now.
Yeah, even when I talk about movie theater, I still do the RE, but...
What is this? Opposite day.
Yeah. So you're at Cal State.
Yes.
Fullerton.
Yes.
How much longer do you have?
2 years now. So
okay.
Went in there.
You're on the 3-year plan.
Yeah. It was going to be shorter, but since I was able to make the BFA acting
right.
program,
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So, thank you very much. Yeah. So now with that, it's 2 years of working with an insane Russian. So
an insane Russian?
Yes.
Is she all Stanislavski?
Yes.
Well, of course.
Absolutely.
She's Russian.
Yeah. Svetlana is her name.
Svetlana. Oh, she does it
get
more Russian than
I found it fascinating that I don't believe that you just said that you were working with a Russian, and Cash automatically interpreted that as a female. So I found that interesting.
Huh. That is true.
Interesting.
Did I say she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did.
It's The Simpsons. Tappa, tappa, tappa.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow.
You could be the next Baroshikov. I don't want to be the next anything. I don't think I like this camera setup.
Why don't you like it? What's your issue with it?
It's just, I don't know. Maybe it'll be better when you're seeing it, like, because I have it small.
Oh, gotcha.
And like Cash looks small. You
am small.
You can only see me up to like right here when I have it on you guys, and then over on the other direction it's okay, but then you can't see Cash. and it's a lot of decision making. It's hard.
Joe has to think. He doesn't like that. All right, Cash, what have you been up to while we've had this?
Well, we finished. Were you done? Well, I was going to ask one question before we're off, Kyle. How are you doing? Do you have the summer off, or are you doing anything working towards that during the summer?
Technically, I have the summer off. I do have my assignments, my summer reading list, as it is, which is why I came back to Crafton, because it's the only place around here I can find plays. So I've been going down to Tom's office,
really?
looking.
Just
through
looking.
When have you been doing that?
Yesterday.
Oh,
So.
did you talk to Palky?
Well, I mean, I saw him. I said hello, but if I take them, I don't. I mean, what's he?
What's Palaki going to do? Although he's kind of ripped now, he might try to stop you.
Stop that.
Yeah, he'll do a whole bunch.
You better be done doing that when I come back.
Exactly.
So yeah, Cash.
Okay. We kind of finished up our last show, and we're taking a break for a while. The Morgans have an official plan.
Official plan. Is it official?
It's an official plan. Morgan plan.
Officially official.
There is the Morgan plan.
Is there?
Does it include going back to Oregon?
No.
Does it include murder?
No.
It doesn't include mystery.
Anyway, but no. So I'm doing this job in Big Bear, and it's a lot of stress. But once it's over, at like the beginning, mid-October, I'm going back to Second City.
Oh, cool.
And in that, Carrie is just we're not going to do anything for like a year, because it'll take about a year for me to complete like all the conservatories.
Yeah.
And to like graduate and then do something with it, whatever that may be. Do something with it. They have like cruises and shit you can go on for like a couple G's for like 2 weeks worth of work.
As long as you're not stuck on the shit crew.
I mean, not the shit crew.
Not the shit crew. I mean, I meant the ship cruise.
It's the good ship cruise.
There was the one.
Tootsie Pop.
Yeah, there was the one cruise where the ship broke down. They're all shitting in buckets and stuff.
Yeah,
I think you're lying, but that's me.
It's crazy. I can see birds.
But Carrie,
I'm like, oh, birds.
Carrie
This is
actually,
a huge distraction.
It is.
Carrie actually wanted to. She was like, "Yeah, I'm going to take the whole." Because last time there was a lot of other family stuff going on that I'm not going to get into on this, because who knows who may start listening to.
Fair enough.
But so like I stopped going at that time, and because of that, Carrie's willing to like, we're not going to do any of the plays like while I'm doing it.
Gotcha.
So like since it's going to take a year, we probably won't do another murder mystery for about a year. Which is actually kind of good, because our biggest crowd, like biggest consistent crowds, was right when we came back. Our first show when we came back.
Yeah, and then
was
probably steadily.
Sorry.
Gotta. All right.
It dipped just a little bit and then was steady, and then this last one it was like.
Which last one?
Well, not the charity event, but
Was it now?
Cafe Noir.
The charity event, they paid you, right? Just straight up. Okay, we don't have to go into that now.
Yeah, no, that's some fighting words.
Fighting words.
That's some fighting words.
So that's like the kind of the base thing. I mean, it won't happen right away, but it's something to look forward to.
Cool.
So I'll probably be going back starting at Conservatory 1, because I was about to go into Conservatory 2. So I'll just start over at the first conservatory. Probably have to audition again. I got it.
Cool.
Very cool. Well, Joe and I, and Autumn and our girlfriends went to go see. As I was saying,
we haven't been up to anything. This is what. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. And we went to go see Man of Steel at ArcLight Hollywood, and on the way back, there was. So I'm driving along, and on the 10 freeway, and I'm going along, and I'm kind of ahead of the pack a little bit, which is I normally am, and I see two white lights instead of red lights, and I go, those are headlights. Why are there headlights pointed at me? And Joe like kind of goes like, what? I was on my phone. I'm sorry. I'm like, those are headlights, right? He goes like, yeah, that's definitely headlights. That's definitely headlights. I'm like, fucking wonder what happened. He's like, I don't know. What are you going to do? I'm like, well, I'm going to pull over.
They weren't moving.
They were they were.
Okay. That was brought up at one point. It was like, well, they're not moving.
Yeah. I'm like, well, they're not moving, which, I was like, well, good for us. And so I decided to pull over and see how they were doing. And as I pull over, we noticed that there's this person on the side of the road that then walks to their car. So they left their car and then they got in their car. And I was like, it's this really, it's this older Asian lady. And I'm like, are you okay? And what did she say? I don't really remember.
I have no idea. She was like, she was very much... I just remember her saying several times, please help me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There was a lot of that. And so I'm now on the side of the road at like 2, 3 in the morning on the side of the road. 2 lanes over is a car facing the wrong way.
2 lanes?
2 lanes. Oh yeah, no, she's not on. She's in the middle of the fucking freeway. She's not in the.
Okay.
She's not,
wow.
Okay, so if freeways, a lot of people think the number 1 lane is the fast lane. It's actually the opposite. The number 1 lane is the farthest one to the right.
Yeah.
She's in the number 2 lane, and I'm over on the side, and I'm like, how the fuck this happened? And so I'm going like, can your car start? She's like, and I can't really understand. She's like, oh, please help. And I'm like, can your car? She's like, no, car works. And I said, well, can you pull over to the side?
No death.
Yeah. Can you pull it over to the side? And she's like, and she gets out of the car and stands in the number 1 lane between us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get back in your car. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, not to say that someone would necessarily go between a car facing the wrong way and one with its hazards on the right way, but there could. And the last thing I wanted to see was some old Asian lady get taken out by some douchebag.
Yeah.
And so she gets back in her car and I'm like, can your car move? And she's like, and I can't really understand her. And she's just doing more of the please help, thank you. And I'm like, can you move your car? And she gets in and she starts moving it, but she's very herky-jerky with it. And I'm going like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's wrong with this car? Like, I'm like, did you get in an accident? No accident. I'm like, and then I'm finally like, so the car can move. So now I'm getting out because now she's in the number 1 lane, but she won't move anymore. She's got out and she like hands me the key. She's like, please move the car. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And now only thing that's going through my head is this is one hell of an elaborate scheme to steal someone's car.
What kind of car was it?
It was a Honda Accord. Blue.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is a really elaborate scheme. Like, I'm gonna get in that car, someone's gonna pop up from the back with a knife to my neck and go, drive and give me your keys. You know what I mean? And then she's gonna go like, ha, bitch, and then take my car. Which then Joe be like, what the fuck are you doing? And this is what I'm thinking's going on. And she's like, no, please help. And she's like bowing to me, like grabbing my hand. And I'm like, please stay over there. Stay over.
Suck your dick.
Yeah, she did everything but that. And I'm like, can you please stand over the wall? And she's like, yeah. And that's when I start smelling the booze. And I'm like, have you been, I'm like, the car runs. She's like, no, car's fine. And I'm like, so the car runs. I'm like, how did you come up here? How did you get here?
Yes, asshole. Car runs.
And she's like, oh, I drove up the off ramp. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, have you been drinking? She's only 2.
2 bottles?
I'm like, only 2. And I'm like, fuck. This was going to be potentially a simple accident where she just spun out or something. Now I got a fucking drunk ass bitch right over here that I can't give the keys back to. Like, she drove up the off ramp, man.
I hope you handled it the way you should have.
Which was?
Slapper.
You drive the car off, get it pointed the right direction, get it parked safely off the side of the road, park it, and toss the keys as far as you can down and leave.
Sorry, bitch, this is what you get. So at this point, I'm just going like, I'm trying to figure out, like, it took me a while to figure out, about 5 minutes to figure out that, because she wasn't telling me what was going on. So it took about 5 minutes for me to figure out the car was running and that she drove it up. And now I'm going like, well, she's super short. So I know that I'm okay to driving this car, but how am I going to get it flipped around? Because there's enough traffic where I'm not, like in my car, I could have done it. Wouldn't have wanted to, but could have. In her car, I know nothing of it. The brakes are already squealing. I have no idea what this car is in conditions like. And I know that I'm going to have a huge problem with getting in this car because I guarantee she has the seat all the way up, right?
All the way up, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and the last thing I'm doing is turning around this fucking car when there's cars coming at me at 65 miles an hour. Not fucking doing it. Not for some bitch who's drinking. So I'm like, okay, well I'm gonna at least get it out of the number one lane so someone doesn't hit it.
Fair enough.
And off to the side. And so I get in, I scrunch in, and I kid you not, my thighs were touching my chest, and I could barely move the steering wheel
How
because
did they
it was
reach
that
the
close.
pedals at that point?
See, the first thing I would have done was move the
Magic.
seat back.
No, and I tried to find it. But all I ended up doing was hitting every button because I couldn't actually get in there. And because I thought it was a regular one, but it turns out because I realized after I noticed that I was in a leather seat that all of it's electronic, which means it's on the side. But with the way I was in the car at that point, I couldn't get to it. So, and I had at this point now a fucking truck coming at me that wasn't changing lanes. So I'm like, why the I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you see headlights and you're not changing lanes and you're coming at me at 65 miles an hour? What the fuck is your problem, man? So I'm like, shit, drive over, and he finally changes lanes, and I'm like, okay, that's done.
Meanwhile, while Goldie was moving the car.
And keep in mind, the whole time I'm moving the car, windows are rolling up and down, moonroof is opening up, and everything. I'm hitting everything because I'm so cramped in there.
Joe, you were taking a nap.
So I was just sitting in the car because I don't know what to do in these sort of situations.
Or care.
Yeah, or care. Like Goldie was like taking a while before anything was happening. He was just talking to her, and I was like going, what the heck is taking so long? I mean, something's weird's going on. Eventually, he starts getting in the car, and as soon as he gets into the car, she starts walking over back to his car, and she like knocks on the window and like starts talking to me, and it's like going, "Come on, please, can you help me?" And I'm like, "Okay." At this point, I assumed that what happened was Goldie wanted me for something and sent her over to get me.
Which I did no such thing.
Yeah. And so I get out of the car and like I have absolutely no idea what she's saying to me. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I'll just check with my friend. So I start walking over there. By that point, Goldie started moving the car. I was like, okay, I'll wait until he's finished moving the car. Just sort of stand there. She's just standing there, occasionally grabbing my arm, saying, help me, bowing.
Help me.
I don't like being touched, bitch.
Yeah, I kid you not. I told her, I was like, ma'am, I need you to stand over by that wall. To which she then kind of stumbled and then hit the wall and was like, okay, like bowing and going like, what the fuck is... And at this point now, I'm in my head going like, I can't... I'm asking her, I'm like, do you have anyone to call? She's like, yeah, I'm just live around the corner. I'm like, no, do you have anyone to call? She's like, yeah, do you have a cell phone? Yeah, I have a phone right around the corner.
You're on the freeway. There ain't no corners, bitch.
Yeah.
There ain't no corners on this thing.
I'm like, no, a phone. We need to call someone. No, I'm just around the corner. You drive me. I'm like, no, I'm not driving fucking anywhere.
This is not my problem.
Yeah. I'm like, and you gotta keep in mind that it's the wrong way, and there's enough people coming where it's not like you can just go like, all right, what I'm gonna do is really quick. I could have you would have taken up 3 lanes to make a U-turn on that freeway, and it was not. There was enough people coming fast enough that I was like, in my car I could do this. In someone else's car that I have to now go get situated in, not going to happen, and I'm just not going to do it.
I probably would not have stopped, but had I stopped, I probably would have. As soon as she gave me the key, I see the whole situation. I would have immediately gave Joe the keys to my car or
Stick.
Jasmine.
Wasn't there. She had her own car. Yeah. It's only Autumn
I could
and
have
Joe.
tried.
Could have tried.
Autumn and Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she could have drove your car.
What was her car a stick?
No.
Okay.
Give it to
Well,
Joe.
Joe, how are you at driving reverse?
I'm okay.
Oh, that's a
Actually,
good point.
I said that to Goldie after it was over. I was like, going,
my point with that is my thought of that though at that point was I was more concerned about what I'm going to do after I get the car righted.
See, but what I was going to say is I would have left it. I would have told somebody to either drive, or I would have driven my car and had somebody else go right behind, like in reverse, off the off ramp, and then whatever is there. Like whatever's at the end of that off ramp, like leave it there.
Yeah.
Like if there's a dirt lot, if there's a gas station, if there's a fucking sidewalk.
Yeah, it was like my problem was like I just didn't want to have the fight, and where I totally understand the whole throwing of the keys. like I don't think I could have done that.
Just throw them and say, "Ma'am, your new hotel."
Enjoy. So I'm now going through my head, going like, okay, I can get this car righted. That's not a problem. But what the fuck do I do with her afterwards? She's obviously drunk. I mean, I could definitely, without a doubt, now was totally smelling it on her. And I'm like, I can't let her go. Like, I just can't let her go. And like, I'm not driving her fucking home. That's why I was trying to find if she had anyone to come get her, right? And at this point, at this point is when I see that the cops have come. And they're now stopping the freeway. And she's pleading with us.
Now this has to be the point where you're like, I'm out.
No, this is what happens. Is I notice this. I'm the first one that notices this.
Yeah.
Because I notice these things, and so I see it, and I see the cop, and I see him the moment he puts on his lights. And I'm like, in my head, I'm going like, well, we're done. And I'm like, I'm not done, but I'm like, I'm done. Like I'm fine. Like I'm staying here. And she's going, please help. And she hasn't seen him because her back's to him, so she doesn't even know. Joe hasn't seen him.
I haven't
yet
seen him because I don't notice it.
because he's not noticing these things. And Joe's like, so what are we going to do? Seriously, what are we going to do? I mean, how are we going to do this? What are we going to do? She's like, please help. And I'm like, look, it doesn't matter now. And he's like, why doesn't it matter now? Because the cops. It's like, what cops? Right there. And he goes, oh, okay. And she's like, and now she's panicking.
Yeah.
Now she's utterly panicking. And I'm like, look, ma'am, just let me talk and I'll try to do my best. And at this point, so the cops come. Now there's two cops and the freeway's completely stopped. And I'm like, okay, they know nothing. They think this is an accident, but there's some guy standing here. So what I need to do, and what I wanted to do was put my hands in my pockets. And I was like, but don't do that. So what I did instead was the exact opposite, which is
he was coming out as Jesus.
As there's four cops coming from both sides, and the entire freeway stopped, and I'm walking slowly towards them with keys handed in my hand, between my thumb and forefinger.
Her keys,
and my hands out like this, and I'm slowly walking towards them. And one guy goes like, dude, there's no need for your hands to be out. And I say to him,
settle down, son.
I'm like, no problem, man. I just wanted to make sure you knew I didn't have anything. And I didn't want to put her keys in my pocket because I didn't want anyone saying anything like, well, you was trying to steal my car. Like, I didn't want anything like that. So he goes, so what happened? I'm like, well, I came up to this car. It was backwards, blah, 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 moved it over. And he goes like, okay, so who's hurt? I'm like, no one's hurt. No one's injured. Just she drove up the off ramp. And this is when I decided, I was like, no, fuck this shit. I'm like, she said she's had 2 drinks. I smelled booze. I didn't want to let her go. He goes, okay. And then he.
So meanwhile, over on my end, some other cops come over towards me and the lady, and they start talking to me and her, and like she said, and like she, the cop asks, so what's going on here? Like, and she starts saying, "Oh, I'm just with them. I'm their friend." and like,
whoa, bitch. Whoa.
And like, the cop is asking me, "Oh, is that right?" He asked me that, and I'm like, no, it's not. And so,
keep in mind, the entire freeway is stopped at this point.
Yeah.
Did she like, oh, I'm with Bobby over there? Yeah. Like, what?
And then the cop says, so is there any damage to this car? And I'm like going, nope. This car is completely fine. That car, on the other hand, is facing the wrong way.
and while this is
that one, thank you, thank you,
and this
sir.
and so once I tell the guy, the officer, like what's happened, he was like, well, all right, first thing we need to do is turn this car around. I'm like, okay, and I'm like, I'm on it, and then I go like, and he's like, and so what you're gonna do is you're gonna drive it off the off ramp, and then your friend can drive your car because he knows what's going on now. And I'm like, whoa, actually that's a problem. And he's like, what do you mean? Why can't you drive your car? And I said, well, that's not my car. I'm like, that's my car, and my car is a stick, and my friend is with me and doesn't know how to drive it. And he's like, oh, okay, so these are two different cars. I'm like, yeah, this car is hers. I've never met her in my life other than today. And that's when he goes,
these are two different cars.
what? And
Were you not at the scene yet?
But they're both Hondas.
No, because as far as he understood, there was four of them, so they didn't know what was going on, and people thought it was an accident.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and I had the keys, so he thought it was my car, and well, no, it's like he said, get in your car. I said, well, this isn't my car. And he goes, what do you mean it's your car? I said, that's my car. He's like, okay, well, can you drive it? I'm like, yeah, no, I can drive it. And he's like, okay, we'll drive it. And then I said, I'm with my friends. My friend is over there. And
you can't drive stick.
And then he goes, okay, well, you drive that one. Your friend can drive your car down the off ramp. And I said, and that's what I was like, whoa, hey, problem. He can't drive stick. Mine's an SI, can't drive stick. I'm the only one who can drive it. And he's like, wait, whose car is this? Because he thought we were all together. And I was like, some woman's. And he goes like, oh, you just, and that's when it clicked in his head. It's like, oh, you're just some bystander that stopped. Like, that's all you guys are. So that's when he's like, okay, hold on, show me. Tell me which one's your friend. I said, that's my friend Joe. And he went, okay. And then the other person was like, ma'am. And so Joe thought he was talking to him. He's like, starts walking out. And he goes like, no, ma'am. And because she knew what the fuck was up. So she's like, oh, all right. And starts walking over. And then one of the police officers turns the car around.
I did not hear the ma'am part.
The cop was like, hey, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
I think he was saying man.
Hey, brother, come here.
Or something like that. Plus, I couldn't help but to think that, with my long hair and her kind of small masculine physique.
Yeah, she was really
She might have been
small.
a little confused at which one of us was the man.
Yeah.
Or the cop might have been a little confused.
So he drove the car down, and at this point I'm going like, hey, are we needed anymore? Because I've left the scene before when I was told that I could go and then was chased down by cops after they let the freeway back open. So I had to drive in reverse on the side of the freeway while people going by me at 65 miles an hour for about a quarter of a mile. It wasn't fun. Well, actually, it was fun, but that's
beside the point.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey, can we go? And he's like, oh, well, what did he tell you? And I'm like, fucking, I don't know. I'm like, I don't remember what he fucking told me. Like, he's had new information since what he told me. He might not need me anymore. So he goes talks to his buddy real quick, and he goes like, yeah, you can go. So I'm like, all right, let's get the fuck out. And for the next 3 miles. Well, actually, it was probably more like 10 miles. Next 10 miles, I drove 55 miles an hour. I was like, and I'm like, because in my head, I'm going like, what if they did need to talk to me? If I go 75 or 80 and they catch up to me, they might give me a ticket. So I'm like, no, I'll drive 55. If they need me, they can find me.
See, I would have done everything opposite, because the minute they let me go, as soon as I
You would have
couldn't see
peeled
him
out?
anymore, not peeled out. As soon as I couldn't see him anymore, the freeway's fucking empty.
Oh no! The moment they'd already taken off the car. So the moment I left, they started moving one of the police officers' cars. So I was like, "Fuck! Don't drive too fast, Chris, because I don't know if they're coming after me yet." Because, like I said, I've been told before to leave by someone, and so I didn't want to get too fast, too far, and
Too furious.
Too furious.
Two roids.
Yeah,
Wild.
yeah. So that was what
Tokyo
happened.
Drift.
For those of you who are just listening to the audio, we're in a room that has automatic lights, and I guess we're not moving around enough, so they turn off.
Well,
Well,
unless she'll be waving a flag.
Yeah, the whole time.
at first point, it was just like I was like, oh, Heil Hitler. I didn't know that was the new thing these days. on
That's
radio.
that's what we do.
No, naturally.
We hail Hitler.
Yeah, so that's what happened after Man of Steel for us.
After Man of Steel.
After Man of
On the
Steel.
way home. After
I'm telling you, yeah, after IHOP.
Oh, fair enough.
And I'm telling you, Cash, you need to just go with us one day. how awesome
To
would it?
IHOP?
No, I mean just to a movie. You never want to go. You're like, but I'm like, you don't have to drive. You just
Are
go
you
with
fucking
us.
crazy? I never want to go. I always want to go, but
And I'm like, dude, just sleep
And
on the way
wait.
back. You could have been a part of this. You could have thrown that woman's fucking keys.
when did you go to Man of Steel?
Monday
night.
Oh, I had already seen it.
Yeah, I know.
But is that why I didn't get asked about?
Oh, I thought Joe would have asked you or something.
I was not informed that I was supposed to
All right,
ask you.
looks like we failed.
I assumed, because I saw that you had like pictures from Father's Day of being at the Kokorian, that meant that you went to see Man of Steel.
I wasn't at the Kokorian.
You weren't?
Well, Carrie, not that day. Carrie posted that. That was an old picture that she had on her phone, and,
Well.
and she just thought it was funny. So on Father's Day, she posted it.
Well,
'Cause
my
I'm doing
face is red.
like,
Some
thing.
look at
When
my
did you
ass
see
thing.
it then?
I saw it at the Harkins in Moreno Valley.
Oh, did you get popcorn with the tapatio in it?
No, that is the cheap movies.
This
Yeah, gotcha.
been out of theaters for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
The second run.
Second
as they
run,
say,
that's what they call it,
Before DVD. And then, that's where you get 2 movies or 2 movie tickets, 2 popcorns, 2 drinks for $10.
Yeah, which is a pretty good deal.
$10.
Yeah. I'll make sure to invite you next time, Cash.
Yeah, for what? They're already out.
No, there's one coming up that we're going to see at ArcLight. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, so yeah, that
Thor.
was Thor Into Darkness.
Oh wait, no, that'll probably be at the El
Thor into
Capitan.
Darkness.
I don't know what it's
Into the
called. It's
darkness of
Darkness
somebody's
something.
colon.
Yeah, it's Thor. Darkness of someone's
I
colon.
thought it was
Dark
the winter.
World or
Darkness.
I don't know. There's too many darkness
long
movies.
winter.
Down with the
That's problem.
darkness.
Lion in Winter.
Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe. Thor, Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe. The Christian tale.
But that won't be going to ArcLight Hollywood.
And you're probably right. It's probably going to El Capitan. All right.
How
So
is
we're
the El Capitan to see though?
It's something that you
Expensive.
should it's expensive, but it's something you should try once.
It's really cool. They do a show beforehand, and it is a really nice theater. But
They
it
do a
is
show beforehand.
expensive.
It's like a
Yeah.
short sort of
The Dark
thing.
World.
It's different.
The Dark World.
and they like the Dark World. I'm a little slow. They dress up the theater. So like we saw the third Pirates movie.
Yes.
Out there. So like they had it all dressed up like
A pirate ship.
themed, and there was an organ player.
There's always an organ player, and he plays different stuff. But then before the movie, there's a little show that
Yeah,
they do
like a
on
little
the stage. But with
circus act kind of a thing.
yeah, not with people, but with just
Marionettes.
props and not so much that. It's just, it's kind of cool. It's hard to
Animals.
describe.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
I was waiting for that. All right, so we're going to move on to catastrophes.
Cash Tasher.
Oh, yeah.
Catastrophes. Now we've had catastrophes is Cash tends to get into some problems. See, like he likes to try and kill himself, or the world likes to try to kill him a
Yeah.
lot.
Whole world's against me, man.
Yeah. So number one, this is number 5, but it's really number 1. I don't know why it says number 5 on here.
It's because so the first installments of Catastrophes are
We're counting down the top 5.
The top 5 times
Top 5.
I almost died.
Yep.
Oh.
And we went from least interesting to most interesting. Now this is the 5th one, but since we're counting in reverse,
It's technically
this is the most interesting
Interesting.
one. This is the one y'all started listening.
I'm
for.
very
This,
interested.
this shouldn't be this complicated.
it shouldn't. It really should. And,
I think people understand a countdown system.
but I had it wrong on here, and that's the problem.
Okay.
All right. So to catch people up, and Kyle, the number 5 was I don't remember.
I think number 5 was the fireball, the electric
the
spark that caused a blue flame
Fireball
to
of
almost hit
death.
my face.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Number 4 was almost falling off a mountain.
Almost
right?
sliding off. Yeah.
Sliding mountain.
Okay.
Number 3 was getting almost chopped off by a blade.
Yeah. Well, a motor grader. Yeah, getting hit by the blade. Third gear in reverse.
Oh dear.
Number 2 was
Number 2 was when I drove off Big Bear Mountain in my truck.
That he had just bought.
I had it for a little while, but I insured it on Friday and wrecked it on Monday. Here's how that worked. But yeah, I fell asleep and
That's the worst.
woke up bouncing around with dust in the cab.
Yeah.
But tune into the last one for that one, or actually 2 ones ago.
2 ones ago, yeah.
'Cause the last one.
It's hard to keep track.
All right, and this is number 1, which Cash, take it away.
All right. Okay, so
Now I've heard parts of this. I've never heard the whole story.
I believe I heard the whole story way back in the day.
okay, and I have to say, I will tell everything that happened in this story except the who and why of how I was shot. Just because.
Hold on. This is the first time Kyle's heard this, so he didn't know that. I mean,
I'm thinking like, I don't know, fell out of a window, but okay, shot.
shot.
There we go.
That's the
So
funny thing,
I was about to say right after that, but yeah, this is the most interesting one is the time I got shot with a 22.
But you won't tell us why you got shot or who did it.
Yes.
Which is, I'm fine with not knowing the who did it, even though I think I do know who did it because I think you told me.
probably do if you heard the story, but it's just there's a lot of shit that
I want to know why. Why can't you say why?
because it lends to even a bigger question of who.
Gotcha.
If you hear why, because it's a ridiculous reason. I know.
They're just making us
Say it.
Yeah.
Wait, so
just want to know now.
So there was a motive. This was not an accident.
I didn't even think about it that way. There was a motive.
Yeah.
It went down as an accident. It's
on paper, yes,
it's in the record
it was an
book.
accident.
It's in the record books as an accident.
Okay.
And so that is what it was deemed. Okay, so
Okay, continue.
It went down in the record books as an accident.
okay.
Okay.
All right,
So,
go on. Continue.
Now this was, let's see, brother was born. This would have been February of '89.
But you'll tell us when.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Motorcycle?
I'll tell you where. I'll tell you when. I'll tell you
Okay.
how
Gotcha.
it felt. Shitty. Anyway, so it's February '89, which means I'm 13. Gonna be 14 that April.
A new teenager,
Yeah,
just out of your preteens.
yeah.
Not a care in the world.
You just graduated from Sacred Heart?
No, I was in the 8th grade of Sacred
you were in the 8th
because this
grade.
was February.
Oh, February. Okay. Right.
February 8th grade.
So we
Sacred Heart.
were attending the same school at that time.
Yes, you might.
Wow.
There was a little bit of a to do, not a big thing, but when I came back, there was like a little something. Your kindergarten, you probably forgot.
I
about
probably
it.
forgot it.
I thought they would have named a day, but whatever.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they name it a cash day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, cash day.
It's a day for everybody.
It's called Friday, payday.
Yeah, it's called payday.
And okay, so so I'm 13, about to be 14. This is in Upper Yucaipa at one of the plethora of ranches. Yes, I do know what it means. That are in the canyon, kind of up by where Goldie lives.
Thanks for letting everyone know.
Goldie didn't shoot me. Okay,
But someone will shoot Goldie.
This particular one is at the top of Avenue E. Avenue E turns into dirt, and you keep going, and you find a ranch.
Yes, I once wrecked a car up there. Sorry, not wrecked a car, but I destroyed a rim. Go on. I'll tell that story.
Wow,
Very relevant, Goldie.
quite a rim job. That's a rim shot.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll start from the moment I was shot with a 22 bullet from a rifle, probably 35 yards away. Instantly, it now a 20.
You were supposed to hit the apple on my head.
No, I was shot in the back.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Were you running away?
I was running at the time to try to not get hit. I did have a forewarning. I knew it was a very good possibility.
If I just get 50 yards away, I know he's shit at aiming.
It was quite an accident.
It was a very elaborate accident. It was a very well premeditated accident.
Those are some of the best. Sometimes those are the best kind. So it hit me just under the my right shoulder blade, or I mean in the back. Ooh. Yeah. So and children. A 22 bullet is like this, almost the smallest, a stage above a pellet gun, but a 45 would have hit, and wherever it hit would have been like kind of linear and made a huge hole.
Going out. Yeah.
22 bullets are known to enter and not come out, like just bounce around, and they usually tear through organs and stuff like that, and that's how you die from 22, which is the one most people die from.
Good to know that he picked the one that's deadliest.
So it didn't come out, but it was sticking out of my right chest, and it came in about here, so a difference, I'd say, just in like passing by the soft tissue, like maybe like 4 inches. Wow. Like difference, 4.5 inches, like came up, And again, it was like sticking out, like almost the entire bullet was sticking out, like pulling the skin, It hadn't pierced the skin. And so in that path of travel, it hit the top of my lung, went through my lung. Ooh. So when I laid there, and again, I'm at a ranch. So what I was running for was a stall that I could quickly duck to the left, and I would be safe from any
accident,
from some crazy hillbilly hick shooting at a man on his property.
Any stray bullet. But so
they just happened to be taking target practice in my general direction.
So I quickly, there's like it feels as though instead of a bullet, I can feel where the hole is every time I take a breath. So it almost felt like an arrow, because I could feel my back, like I could feel the point of entry on my back, and I could feel like, since I could feel every part of it, like picture like a couple pieces of paper.
Down, Cash. Sorry. You're out of the.
Picture like a couple pieces of paper or something that you shoot through, and they kind of like scorched the hole as a bullet passes through, or whatever.
Yeah.
So all of those would inflame, and since it was a straight line, it felt like I could feel everything that was missing.
Oh gosh.
So I'm helped to the office. There's an office on the ranch. It's
where
like
the torture began,
where the true hell opened. And 911 is alerted, and
the funny part is they called it before the accident happened.
No, they had dialed 911 and waited. No, actually, in essence, it wasn't a straight call to 911. It was a call to another office. And then that person called 911 and sent them to where they had gone. Because there was another person there, and they were like only a few years older than I am. The reaction, whatever. So anyway, so paramedics get there first before there's an actual ambulance. So they come in and they start, whatever they did, help me breathe. Like took focus. It still hurt a little bit, but I was getting used to it. Sorry. In the time I went to the office, and and the paramedics came in, like because of the fact that like it felt like the arrow, and every breath was like really excruciating. Like really. So I was taking these like tiny breaths.
So you're hyperventilating?
Yeah. I was like, I was trying to get oxygen without like, but then every once in a while, like my body wouldn't let me hyperventilate hyperventilate, it was like forcing me to take these long breaths every couple 45 seconds or so.
Yeah.
Which, oh my God, like the worst pain. Like, I mean, and it's just odd, like knowing, even like I'm 13 years old.
Yeah.
Knowing that like I have to breathe to stay alive, but it's the worst fucking, it's the basic need, but it's like the one thing I really don't want to do right now.
Yeah.
You know? So the paramedics come and they start asking me, I think like around 8 times they asked me my name, what my age, what happened, where does it hurt, whatever. But like in this,
I'm 13. My name is Cash. Someone shot me.
yeah, like
It hurts where the bullet holes are.
yeah, how are you? Like, well, other than this, like, and even one of the paramedics is like, well, it's good your sense of humor's up, you know. But he did something to like numb like whatever was going on and stop the bleeding. Which we'll come back to in a minute. I'll sum up the ways within this that I almost died too. There's a couple different ways.
Oh my gosh.
So then, so they get me kind of stabilized, and the ambulance comes. So they're like, okay, we're going to roll you over. I'm all, really? Because I had been on my side the whole time, you know, like this whole time. And I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, you know, it's fine. Like, we have to. So they put me on the cot and they roll me out. And it's then that I like, as soon as like, because the room, it's a tiny office. It's much smaller than this. It was probably like almost the size of the room we were in. Mm-hmm. But then it went into like a separate bathroom, but still about that size. And so like it was full of paramedics, and they were like, as they were pulling me out, it's the first time that like in the span of all this happening, my family started showing up. Like my dad.
Yeah.
My dad was there, and like right as they were about to come in, my dad was about to come like in the room, like, sir, you have to start hearing like, sir, you have to throwing people. Like, my dad's a very large man. He's like 6'4", ex-Marine.
Wow.
Looks a lot like Superman.
Really?
Like from the comic books, like not this new like Man of Steel or whatever, and not
Henry
Christopher
Cavill.
Reeve. It looks like when they drew Superman, like they were like,
him.
huh. But yeah, so come out, and my brother Cole was about a year old, and my grandmother was holding him, and like, I mean, just, you know, tears streaming down the face.
This is such a horrible accident.
That was the first moment.
Yeah, the wink.
Out of this whole thing, that was the first moment where I started to tear up a little bit. Like I started to cry. Like this whole time, it didn't scare me, but like I was trying to like remember everything, because I honestly thought like, okay, this is going to be my last memories. But I didn't have any of that life flashing before my eyes shit. But like I was like, how many people you know that have been shot?
No, you.
Okay. You know why? Because the people that get shot die, and they don't get the chance to meet you. Like that's why. Like that, and going through my mind, like I was like trying to think of people who have been shot. Like who gets shot and lives? Like when does that happen? So I was like, I hadn't really, like, it hadn't scared me to the point that I was like crying about it. But like when I saw my grandma, who had, like, both of my uncles had passed away very young, in their 20s. So like she's familiar with loss, and like seeing that, like, oh my God. Yeah. You know,
my high school principal was shot.
Oh, okay.
There we go. And
Reagan.
he lived.
Why was he a principal?
Why was he a principal?
Yeah.
He got shot while being a principal.
Yeah. By a student.
Someone came by a student. They came in with a shotgun and like blew his face off or something.
Wow.
And
I'm making
lived?
shit up. I don't know.
Yeah, he lived. He had to get like bone grafts from his leg to reconstruct his
Oh, I
jaw.
was right on that. I do remember.
Yeah. The student, however, then shot himself after escaping the scene.
Okay.
But anyways, sorry to take over. I was just
that's fine.
like, challenge accepted.
Yeah, rightfully so. Touche. Yeah. Who lives after being shot in the face with?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I get in the ambulance, and this is when
Did I say high school? I meant grade school.
this is when the torture begins. So I don't know why, but so they're searching for a vein in my right arm, and I don't know if it was because that's where I was shot, like blood wasn't flowing to that side, and why they wouldn't get that. You're supposed to be the experts, assholes. But so they're punching it about like maybe 4 or 5 times looking for something. Finally, they get out the hook.
Oh God! Stop now. I don't want to know.
What is the hook?
So it's almost like a dental instrument that they scrape, but it's like even more so. It's more hooked. And so they've already got a pretty good hole going searching.
No.
They grab it and they pull the skin back.
Oh, fuck you. No.
And then go, Goldie, remember what I told you in the beginning that I can't tell you the who or the why?
Yes.
But there's plenty of interesting stuff. If you can't bow out now, because this road we're going down, it doesn't stop here.
It's all downhill from here.
I'm not they're not even working. They're not even working here yet.
Oh God!
And oh shit, son. But anyway, so the ambulance, so she's going, and now, so she said finally after the hook doesn't work and she can't find the vein, she's like, okay, let's just try.
Have to do the other
let's just try the
arm.
left. Oh, got it. Like, you bitch.
Really?
You fucking bitch.
You know I was just shot, right?
So, okay.
Someone goes for the saw, like,
now
it's in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Now remember that. Now remember how easy the left one was, okay?
Right.
Because that's going to come in later.
Oh, well.
Okay, so now that's in, and they're still asking me questions. I'm in, like, now that they put me from there to here, now I got to answer the question again. So now it's about to get kind of cool. Now it gets cool.
Only because you start going into shock.
So all of a sudden the door opens in the back, and one of the paramedics or maybe the ambulance driver, I don't know who it was. Somebody comes in and they're like, "Okay, look, here's the situation. There's like the driver said, there's no way in bloody hell he can go down this dirt road with this patient in the back, like safely. So we're gonna have to land a helicopter in this pasture right here. He'll be here in about 3 minutes." So they do just that. They freaking land a helicopter in this pasture.
In the valley, right? Off the road?
Yeah.
Okay, I know what that is. Yeah.
At the top of E.
Yeah.
So it lands.
Where there probably is now a boat.
They keep there's the ranch is still there. We could take video before this thing airs. I could show you exactly.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's going on.
Do you want to get shot again?
No, I've
accidentally.
I've since been to the ranch many times, and it doesn't trip me out. I have an issue with guns, but not like a huge one. I don't want to take a stand.
Well,
on it
you were shot.
Yeah, you just can't. You can't stop the wrong people from. You can't stop the guns from getting in the wrong hands.
Yeah,
there's no way to do that.
Yeah,
and you can try to regulate it, but it's not going to work. And so, the people that are the most mad about it know that the most. Anyway. So the helicopter lands. I'm still on the gurney or the fucking cot stretcher.
Right.
Thank you, stretcher.
You're welcome.
So they take
me
the stretcher, the board, put it over. They put me on the helicopter. My mom's like,
"Holy shit!" The helicopter goes down.
My mom's like, "Hey," and they're like, "Whoa, I don't think so." And so 9 minutes from the top of Avenue E to the top of Loma Linda.
Really, it's only 9 minutes.
9 minutes.
I can get there in 9 minutes.
And the door was open,
but I'm doing 130.
The door was fucking open the whole time.
What, really?
I'm like,
seriously, strap me in, people. Strap me in.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. I'm like, what? They're like, these shots. What's the worst going to happen?
You fall out.
You catch a cold.
Yeah.
But again, once I got in the helicopter, okay, so what's your name? How old are you?
What happened?
What's going on? Are you hurt? and
no, I'm bleeding for no reason.
And mind you,
Ebola.
The bullet's still sticking out. And so every time, like now, when they would ask me,
they just thought that was a third nipple.
Well, now when they would ask me, I'd be like pushing them, except for this guy, like, tapping it and shit. So they get me there, and then they take me in. They take me in to like an operating room, like a mass operating room. There's probably like 5 tables on each side, like stretched with like curtains between them, right? And so I get there. The doctor comes over, nurse comes over, kind of looks me over, like, okay, how you doing? How's your breathing? Like,
Does he look at you and go like, oh, it looks like you've been shot? And then you say to him, yeah, no one else could figure that one out.
You look like you've been shot. Good God, man. Do you have a bullet in you?
Someone get him a doctor.
So this man needs a doctor. By this time they had pumped me so full of like stuff that I was like, I wasn't really feeling the pain now after once the IV was in. Like I don't really remember much pain going on after that. I mean, it still was like hard to breathe.
Yeah.
Like it hurt. It hurt kind of like when it's a real fucking smoggy day and your lungs kind of hurt, and you like take a breath and then cough.
Yeah.
Like kind of like that. So right after the doctor looks at me, or like almost as he's in the middle of like assessing like everything that's going on. Okay, it's through the lung. Okay, like this and that.
Did they push the bullet into your lung?
No.
God, and then you cough it up through your mouth. Can I keep it?
No, they had to keep it, but that's a different story. Well, no, that's not a different story. That ties into the who and the what.
So, they had to keep it for evidence.
Yeah.
For the accident.
Yes.
Of murder.
Attempted. Attempted.
True. You just can't kill me. But right as he's almost done with his assessment of like what he's going to do and like this and that, in comes this guy that had been in an accident and fucking screaming up a storm, and all I saw was like this bloodied heap like going past me, and so like I don't know what was fucking torn up on that guy, but he needed some extra attention real quick. So they took off with him for like what seemed like 5-10 minutes. Then
you're going like, it's cool. You're pushing it in. You're pushing it in. And it keeps popping out.
So like yeah. So
nipple.
Once that guy's screams start dying down a little bit, the doctor comes back, and he's like, "Okay, so here's what we're gonna have to do.
Your penis, it has to come off." What?
He's all. First of all, let me tell you, because he's reading like all these different reports from like the helicopter, from the ambulance, from this. He's reading all this shit. He's like, first, let me tell you a few things. Number one, you're very lucky to be on this table already. The first thing, if that bullet would have entered like a 1/4 inch in any direction, it would not have taken the path that it did, and you would have died. You wouldn't have been there, 1/4 inch.
Wow.
If the ambulance would have been like a minute is generous. I would say more like 45 seconds later, he would have bled out and you would have been dead. Like on their arrival, you would have been dead.
Keep in mind that you're on the table and they're not doing anything yet.
Yeah, well, I'm stable now.
No, it's just like, we're going to sit here and you're going to understand why this shouldn't have been an accident.
And they finally got the IV in me, so I'm like not losing fluids. They stopped the bleeding, I'm okay for the moment.
I'm going to talk to you, son.
So then he's like, so consider yourself lucky, because there's a few things about to happen that you're gonna wish things might have gone the other way. But just trust me, like these things have to happen, but I'm gonna explain everything, and this is how it's gonna go down. So first of all, you were shot through the lung, and that was one of the other things. Within that minute, if I wouldn't have bled to death, my lung would have just collapsed.
Yeah.
My lung would have collapsed in on itself, and I would have suffocated and died.
Wow.
Those are the three things. So he's like, so the most important thing right now is to reestablish the lung. So I'm going to make an incision on your side, and I have to stick, it's about the size of a garden hose. But it was like the yellow tube, like the yellow stretchy tube. A little more rigid, something you fill a jacuzzi with or something. And he's like, so I need to stick this into your lung, because like as soon as it was punctured, it started filling up with all the fluids that are inside your body. We got to get those out so it can start repairing itself. To do this, there's like no straight route. It's going to have to go in and around a couple nerves. There's no way to know where those nerves are other than your reaction. But I will go very slow, and as soon as it starts feeling funny, we'll back up. We'll go around it. Be prepared for it to happen about 3 or 4 times. So
I want to say, just for the table, because I've had surgery, and there is a nerve
Foot surgery.
Yes, a surgery on my foot, and
hey, so that's what took fucking Bob Marley down, cancer of the foot. If he would have got surgery, it might have saved his life.
Really?
Did
not
know that.
Netflix, Marley. Check it out.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't seen that whole movie, but I did know that. Yeah, I saw the beginning. Yeah, that's fabulous. I do want to check it out.
Yeah, so there's a nerve cluster underneath on the backside of your knee, and when you get knee surgery now, they actually block it, and it creates a giant fucking bruise that lasts for forever. But yeah, and it's probably because they know generally where it is, but maybe not exactly where it is. But it's a nerve block that lasts for about 24 hours. So the good news is for me is that I didn't have to deal with the kind of pain you were dealing with. Although mine wore off before the 48 hours was up. So yeah. But so I understand the whole nerve thing. Like,
is all the bullets going to be easy? We're just going to cut the skin. That's going to pop right out. No problem. He said, and then it's going to drain into this box. You'll probably have it for about a week, and then I'll come to take it out. Unfortunately, because it is through your lung and your age and the traumatic event, we cannot put you under. The only thing I can do is numb the skin. We're going to cut you open, but you have to be awake. Your body will simply shut down. If we give you some kind of to put you under, your body will not wake up. Your body's going to go through too much. It'll just shut down. So you'll have to be. And again, I need that reaction. So
yeah, I need to know if I'm going through a nerve.
Yeah. So we go through all of that, and there's a couple that lift me off the table, like okay, okay, a little quick, I got that. Okay, all right.
No big deal. I got this.
So he tapes it up. It was kind of cool when he cut it. It kind of felt like, when you put glue on your hands. And then you like peel the glue off.
Yeah.
Fuck you. That's not how it feels.
Yeah. Well,
no, it doesn't. I'm telling you right now, even though you've been through it, not how it feels.
Incidentally, the worst scar out of the whole thing was that.
Oh. Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah.
Was that incision? Because it's none of you listening can see. But,
wow. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah.
This is just a little.
It's an inverted nipple.
Little pock mark up there. So essentially,
no one listening is knowing it. You just randomly go into German. The lights turn off again.
I think it's hilarious that the first time it was Joe, then it was Joe and Chris, and this time they went off. It was all of us.
All of us in the room.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't see you. I could only see this one because your arm would go behind the screen. Behind the computer screen. Anyway, sorry. So back on track. I'm so wide of all days not to bring more water. Jesus Christ. I think
make sure you eat cookies off mic.
You want to fill up?
Oh God, thank you.
Staring at me.
So
here, I'll mute your mic. You're good. Okay. I once did eat. What did I eat? It was. Corn nuts on mic that I didn't think were going to make as much noise as they did.
You thought wrong.
It's the crunch that you can't. Anyway, now if you will.
Your mic's back on, Kyle. Just to let you know.
Okay, so.
I guess the cookies are good.
So now he tapes up the tube. I'm good to go. Shit starts draining. My parents come in. What? Accident? Dad, ex-Marine. No fucking accident. But anyway,
I know a trained aim shot when I see one.
So I'm let out. I have to go into like this kind of special room so they can just watch me all night long. No solids.
I see you.
I see you too, man. Yes, the ICU. The ICU.
Oh, I see you.
I see you now too.
Joe's over there going like, "What's just fucking happening?"
What is going on? Okay, and so that first night my lungs are very weak, but nothing hurts. You know, they took all the pain away. Till the next day, so I'm out. They watch me that night. They release me. I go into the other room. Maybe because I started getting active or whatever, but they couldn't find this one, right? But they found the left one like real quick. Okay, so. Once I'm in like the regular hospital room, people are coming in and visit, I'm getting up more, moving around. I noticed that it kind of hurts to like bend my arm.
I don't think I like where this is going.
Oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. We're almost out of it though. We got one more that's going to make it cringe and
Someone's going to collapse.
and then that's it. That's it. So, but this one's a good one. This one's a good one. My mom happened to be in the room, so.
Side note, I had to take out my own. The
hand one?
The hand one. They made me take that one out.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Not fun.
So it starts. It's like painful, and it's an odd pain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, would you tell the nurse or the doctor or somebody like it kind of hurts? Like, can you do something about it? So she tells the nurse. Nurse comes in. So the nurse she looks at it a little bit, you know, and she's like, oh. Nah, it's the problem is, you know, for 2 days you haven't been doing anything. You know, you need to move a little bit. I'm like my right. I'm like my right arm doesn't move, doesn't hurt. He's like, yeah, but you got the metal in it. You know, you got it. And she grabs me.
Oh, stop! No! I don't even care what you say.
Yes.
I don't even care what you say. I didn't even hear it. I didn't even hear it.
Yes.
I don't want to hear it.
What you're all thinking happened.
So what happened next?
So after I came down from the ceiling because she made my arm move, like when I landed back on the bed, instantly my mother had her, like they were between me, like she had grabbed her from the other side of the bed and like pulled her close to her face, you know, something to the effect of get the fuck out of here. If you ever step foot in this room again, like you'll be going out the window, you know, things like this, you know, motherly, you know.
Yeah.
So she left. The doctor was remarkably fast in coming to the room. Assessed my arm, and he's like, "Oh no, that's in way too far. It's hitting the nerve on the other that runs along the back of the arm." I'll take that out. I'll have him take it out immediately and put it in your hand. Like that should solve the problem. Like again. So then I have I have a couple pain-free days, right?
A couple.
So then the original doctor comes in, the one who like put the tube in and everything. And I hadn't seen him in I'd seen him a couple times. I was in there a week, which they said it was going to be 2 weeks. What's up, Wolverine? That's right.
Yeah.
So he comes in. He's like, okay. You know, everything, the tube worked, everything's nice and clear, you're good to go. So it's time to take out the tube.
Oh.
Now, I was like, okay.
It's like, whatever. Do you know what I've been through so far?
Yeah.
I've been shot. I've been hitting. People have been touching my nerves on the inside.
I'll take it out, you know. No problem. You know, it'd be nice to like get full range, you know. He's like,
so I can fight again.
He's like, okay, I got it. You know, like I said, like I told you in the beginning, I tell you, explain everything all the way through. So now, anytime something foreign enters your body wants to know what it is. So it will have tissue attached to it.
Yeah.
And find out what it's made of and stuff like that. And usually, wherever it is on the body, it's going to try to get as much of it as it can. Okay.
Yeah.
again, there's no way to sedate you on any of this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to unwrap everything nice and slow. That'll feel a little weird, because that won't be sedating.
Yeah.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the tube and I'm going to push against your ribs just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, like you're going to hurt my ribs. That's not what I'm worried about here, boss. And when I count to 3, you're going to bear down like you're taking a big BM. I'm like, okay, I probably will be, sir.
Yeah.
Be ready with that bedpan. Yeah. So he's like, okay, ready? 1, 2, and like right before he said 3, he pulled it.
They always do that. Yeah.
It sounded like 3 phone books ripping. And again, I was on the roof, like, oh God. And that was the last of it, the last of the pain.
Yeah, I know that this is nowhere near as bad, but it's my
I
stitches.
once stubbed my toe.
my stitches on my incision had to be taken out, but he let it stay a week later, which is one of the reasons why I think it took so much skin with it. And has anyone here ever had stitches? I mean, you've been through your stuff, but have you had stitches?
See, I don't even think that. I don't even know if they stitched this fucking thing up because it would look a little better. You would think.
Yeah,
it's gross. This thing.
The thing with stitches is it's a lot like that, but the one difference is that it's tiny. So it's this thing that kind of hurts, but kind of tickles and kind of feels really fucking weird, and it's in an incision that still is healing. So like Joe's watching me and I'm clawing at the wall, not because it like hurts a shit ton, but just it's so weird and foreign and kind of hurty. Like it's like someone's poking you with a fucking needle. Like as she's pulling it out, I'm like laughing, going like, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, that was my experience with that kind of thing. Not as bad as yours, nowhere near as bad as yours, but it's weird having that happen.
And did you know this is kind of a side note? This didn't happen to me, but if you like lose a body limb, you will go through like intense pain in that limb that you lost.
Yeah,
Phantom limbs.
Phantom limbs.
Yeah.
The Venture Brothers has a villain named Phantom Limb. That he doesn't have his arms and his legs, but he still sorts to have them. You should check out the Venture Brothers. It's a cool show.
Adventure Brothers.
Venture Brothers.
Venture Brothers.
Actually,
I have a little small anecdote about wounds and whatnot. I heard this while I was crewing a show over fall. It was Baby with the Bathwater, and one of the stars, her name was Danielle, and she was saying how she had a friend who. This is a very short story, but had a friend who just got really, really drunk, like probably blackout drunk, just absolutely, completely, just out of his mind. And he decided, for some reason, apparently he did stuff like this, but he's like, you know what? I'm gonna cut off my nipple.
What the fuck?
So he decides he decides to get a knife and he slices off his nipple, and he was just drunk. In his, it very well could have been more, but in his intoxicated stupor, he looks down. He's like, "What is this? What is this string? What is this?" So it's a nerve that's sticking out.
Oh God!
And once again, in his intoxicated stupor, he grabs it and rips it out.
Oh God! Jesus Christ!
I was thinking cut it, which would have been one thing, but to pull it.
He does this. Is by far the most graphic episode of The Last Resort.
Oh Jesus
This
Christ.
will be your last resort.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
It's time for another good idea, bad idea. No, these are all bad ideas.
Yeah, these are all.
Getting shot and ripping off your nipple.
Yeah, don't get shot, kids.
Oh God! Yeah. So
Man, there goes my plans for tonight.
Don't go any hillbilly hick ranches.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story.
So, as we always end catastrophes, I don't have my computer currently hooked up,
Live
so I
long
don't.
and prosper.
Yeah, so
Okay, I
Live long and prosper.
live long and prosper.
Very good. I think we need a
Fascinating.
a voice, one of those, a soundbite. That's meanwhile.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, all right, we're
At the
gonna.
Legion of Doom.
Is it just me or is it fucking hot as shit in this room?
It's just you. I'm not that hot.
I have cooled down.
Yeah.
I'm like burning up over here.
Yeah. I don't.
It's because you've been talking.
Yeah.
It could be
Sweating
it.
like a
Yeah.
whore in church.
It's the memory.
Yeah.
Sweating like a pregnant nun.
Yep. So, all right. So, we're going to be moving on after catastrophes. It
Moving
will be
on.
coming back, but we're no longer going to be counting down. And even then, it's just going to be stories in general of how you almost killed yourself.
Yeah,
And
or
not just you, just everyone.
Some
Yeah.
wild times.
Some wild times. But now we're moving on to the whack-ass wizard. Whack-ass wizard.
Why is he whacking my ass?
Wow.
Whack that ass. Whack that ass.
So the Whack-Ass Wizard, we did this once before. It wasn't called that, but it is now called the Whack-Ass Wizard. What it is I'm a wizard. Well, I'm not the wizard. I'm playing the wizard. He comes down and he goes to you three, Cash, Kyle, and Joe over there.
Hi.
He comes down to you and he gives you a power of some kind, but then there's always a catch to it. And you can't say no. You can't decide to kill yourself. You have to do it. You have to do it. And if you don't, you still have to do it, but you don't get the power. All right, the power this time, the Whack-Ass Wizard has come down.
Wait, so if you have to do it no matter what, then you might as well do it to just get the power.
Yeah. Meaning that you just can't kill yourself and say, I don't want to. You have to. You have to do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can't kill the wizard because he's a motherfucking wizard. Last time we did this, you guys got force powers, but these two got force powers. But this is no different. It's a different universe. You now have he's come down and he's like, all right, you're going to get super healing powers.
You're the whack ass wizard, right?
Yeah, well, I'm playing the Whack-Ass Wizard.
Okay, well then you don't say he comes down.
Okay, I come down.
No,
Is the whack-ass wizard Bob Dole?
Yes, I'm Bob Dole. I'm the Whack-Ass Wizard.
Avada Kedavra.
No.
Done. I win.
Man,
I win. I knew it.
Abracapocus.
I just realized I made quite a bit of a 90s reference there.
Yeah, you did.
Like,
Yeah, it was old.
what is it, 20 years now?
Yeah, something like that. All right, so so I come down. You guys are here, and I go like, I'm the Whack-Ass Wizard. I'm going to give you a power.
All hail the whack ass wizard.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so first, Joe.
What's
it's
up?
super healing powers, like Wolverine.
So I can only use these powers to heal myself.
Yes, you can't.
It's not healing other
It's
people.
only you, and this is what every one of you can have to do. So the rest of you start thinking.
How far do they extend?
Like, what do you mean? It's just like Wolverine. So, but just like Wolverine, other than the fact that you don't grow back limbs. So if a limb
Wait, that's super healing. It would be growing back a limb.
yeah, but I'm putting. It's like Wolverine's, but it doesn't.
It's like
grow
getting
back.
shot, and when they tell you you're going to be there 2 weeks, you're only
Yeah,
there
we're there
a
for a
week.
week. Yes. So you don't have regenerative powers in the sense of growing back limbs, but if a limb does get cut off, you can put it back on.
This is a whack ass wizard.
It's a whack-ass wizard.
Yeah.
You pretty much, like, if you were to get everything cut off, it pretty much you wouldn't bleed out because you would be able to adapt and whatever, blah blah. So Joe,
So
first,
why can't you grow back limbs? I mean, why is that limitation?
it's because I'm the whack-ass wizard and this is fucking whack.
You don't have to unless it was like a meat grinder. If it was just cut off,
You'd put it back.
You could put it back and like it would reattach and it would.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I got that, but I mean,
Okay,
it just seems like
fine.
that was a little arbitrary.
Fine. The limb can grow back, but it takes 6 weeks.
That's a whole different power, man.
Why would be? I mean,
it takes
Lizards
6
have it?
weeks.
6 weeks?
6 weeks to grow back limbs.
Wolverine doesn't though.
It's just slow.
Depends.
It's growing back everything, and it hurts like hell. So you don't
sure.
want to do it.
Wait, it hurts like hell.
Yeah, growing back a limb. But if you just put your limb back, it just heals. Okay. All right.
all right,
Okay.
All right. So the first thing is what you have to do is
because they have that powder that where it can
yes.
make you.
I know that. That's not what this is.
Is it a super powder?
Kind of, because
Kind of.
this is a real thing where there's this
Yeah.
powder that it prevents you from truly cauterizing.
So your body
and
just
your body
regrows.
will actually regrow your finger. It
Yeah.
takes a really ridiculous amount of time, but it'll do it.
Yeah. All right. So Joe, you have to do one. You have to scare someone
Okay.
with cutting off something
Okay.
or doing something with your healing power, and you have to make someone laugh. Go. You have 24 hours.
I'm so confused. What?
You have to do two things. You have to make one person laugh. So, like, with your healing power that you now have, you have to make them laugh.
I have to make him laugh.
Yes, I don't know how you're going to do
I
it.
wish that you had told us these things.
I got mine.
I did.
I got mine.
I did. You weren't listening.
I got mine.
Yeah. I
Okay,
was
fine,
probably setting
fine,
things up.
fine. I'm moving on.
Okay,
We're
yeah.
going to let Cash go first. So,
Let
Cash.
Cash go before.
Cash, you have super healing powers.
I already heard the setup.
You
Good thing we all have headphones. Huh?
you have to do something funny and something horrible. All right, go.
Okay. The thing I would do that is funny is I would cut off my balls and put them in my eyes in front of my wife, Carrie, because I think it would crack her up.
All right. I'll allow it. That's good.
I would, my daughter Sophia
Two and one. Hold on. Your kids walk in, horrifies them.
absolutely hates being scared. And to her, I would like chop my head off, like right when she was like, "Oh no," like that, and then like she would like run out of the room, and then I put it back real quick, and it would grow back. Right?
Wow.
That's why I was wondering how
Wow.
far these.
Wow. No.
reach.
You did exactly what I said. I just didn't know you'd
I
do it to
know.
your own family. Joe, are you? Well, congratulations, Cash. You now have super healing powers.
Okay, so this is in order to like you're giving them sort of like on a trial purpose.
Yes.
To
much
get
more
them, and you only have to do it
information
once.
You
It's
only
not
have to
like-
do it once.
It's not
After
like every
that-
time you need a heal, you need to do this.
No. It's just this one time because I'm a whack ass wizard.
That's a lot of
that's
chopping
nice.
my balls off.
Yeah.
Not again.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a whack ass wizard, and this is how I get my jollies off. I give powers away and make people do horrible things and funny things.
That's why he's a whack ass wizard.
Yeah.
Well,
Whack-ass wizard.
for scaring people,
Whack,
I guess I'd go to a preschool because that's a easy target. And
What is everyone doing things? It's small kids.
it's an easy target. You get it done.
What are you cutting off?
Well, I was inspired by Kyle over here. I just cut off my nipples, and with that when that stringy thing's there, I just cut that off.
Oh God. All right.
Yeah.
All right. What's your
know
horrible
what-
thing? What's your thing?
What's your
that you
horrible
do?
thing?
No. That's your horrible thing. What's
my
your
funny
thing that would make someone laugh?
What is my thing that would make someone laugh?
Keep in mind at this point you are now running from cops as well. So
I have to do that in that order.
once the 24 hours are up, and if you do it, then everything comes back. So like you have super healing powers, but no one knows about the stuff you did. I just added that. I just
okay.
added
It gets erased.
You get
but
a clean
within that
slate.
24
4
hours.
hours.
So
yeah.
we're like in Grand Theft Auto, and the stars go.
Yeah.
Away.
Because I mean, you just went to a fucking preschool,
That was a
man.
pretty
Like
old
no one's.
reference, too.
Yeah.
What is funny about the human body?
I don't know. Do I need to?
Sliding down a razor blade at RTF.
Oh.
Right to the RTF stage.
What?
What is wrong with you?
Oh, I'm naked.
My bad. That makes it
Nudity
better.
solves everything.
Wait, so everything that I do right now is going to be forgotten the next day.
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh Jesus. He got excited. Hold on. I know everything I'm gonna do now.
Can it be funny to me?
Well,
It has to be funny to the whack ass wizard.
Oh, what kind
I
of humor
thought it
does
had to
he-
be funny to the person you were doing
Well,
it.
and
You
funny- yeah, no,
you said it had
yeah.
to make somebody laugh.
It had to make someone laugh.
have
Yeah.
to
Can I
make
make myself
someone
laugh?
That's somebody.
That's somebody. Yeah. All right. I'll allow
I'll
it.
just start laughing.
Well, let's see.
Oh, Jesus. No,
You
but
have
you
to
have
at
to
least
cut something
laugh
out.
and cut yourself.
Yeah.
Swing, swing.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Kyle. Congratulations, Joe. You got super healing powers.
You conned your way into having
Yeah.
superpowers.
I just saw Joe at a preschool lopping off his toes and throwing them at the kids.
Oh man. Actually, that's better because I'd be killing two birds with one stone. I'd be scaring the kids, and I'm pretty sure the wizard would
Actually,
be
you'd be
laughing.
killing
at that.
two kids with one finger.
And then putting them back. I'm sure there's one
Okay.
kid in the corner laughing. That's the one that grows up
Yeah,
too.
you have to watch out for that kid.
Yeah.
That's the kid that grows up to be the next whack ass wizard.
Exactly.
The whack ass wizard.
Junior.
All right, Kyle. Super healing powers.
Okay.
And you got 24 hours. Go.
I would say
A lot of dare
for
right now.
for making someone laugh, I'd chop off my arm and I'd do Arrested Development, and I would just say, "That's why you always leave a note." And I'd do it to my brothers.
Do it to your brothers.
Yeah.
So you're bleeding out at that point, kind of bleeding a little bit, and then it stops, and they're like, "Holy shit, that's really good, really good special effects. You're really learning shit over there at Cal State Fullerton."
I just apply it back.
Yeah.
And then
You're like, "See, it's still here."
And for scaring people.
oh man, I would definitely find probably a collection of people all on acid.
Okay. Oh, ooh,
And,
nice.
and from there, scream as loud as I could, begin to laugh, and then rip my jaw off.
oh my god.
Jesus. And then just like rip it off. And, like,
Oh wow.
I think that would be great.
Wow. That's impressive.
Far out, man.
Wow. That's wow.
All right, then.
Congratulations, Kyle. You now have super healing powers.
Yes.
Now, if only we actually
Did
did.
have super healing powers. Then that was the whack-ass wizard.
The whack-ass wizard.
One of these days, he's going to get his comeuppance. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
WAW.
Wow.
The wow. No.
Wawa.
And there's Christopher
There's-
Walken for the day.
Yep.
Every episode.
All right, so we're going to be finishing up. We don't have time to sadly talk about Star Trek Into Darkness or
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, which we will do next time. A couple stories went a little long, which is fine because they were good.
That's why I didn't do any of the etymology of phrases.
Yeah, we'll have that next time. We'll have the etymology of phrases next time. All right, Kyle.
Yes.
If people want to follow you or see you somewhere, where would they do that?
I don't know.
Second start of the north. Straight on till morning.
Well, my address is Cal State Fullerton. Coming up here on the fall list, I'm in 12 Angry Men.
Ooh.
Orale.
I really like that show. So.
So come out and see it. Let's see.
Which angry man are you?
I am the foreman, so number 1. I don't know.
The Foreman. I know that. All right, go on. I've seen the movie and I've seen the play a few times. I just don't remember which one that one is.
No, I don't either.
There you go.
I haven't read the script. So I have a lot of work to do.
It's a good way to approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, now read it. So they
Is that
can
part
see
of your
you at
summer
Cal State
reading?
Fullerton.
Yeah.
Is that part of your summer reading?
Yes. That's one of the other 20 that I have. So I've got some stuff to do.
Nice.
Thanks a lot for extending that, you jerks. I could have been done with at least 2, and here we are.
On the show, yep. But you got to eat cookies, so it's all good.
I did. Those were good cookies.
Yeah, quit complaining.
Yeah, so they can see you at Cal State Fullerton in 12 Angry Men. Hopefully this will be out in time.
It's conceivable.
I wouldn't hope.
I never do.
Cash, where can people find you?
Do you have a Facebook or Twitter or anything like that?
I have a Facebook.
If you want more friends.
Oof, I don't know about that.
Well, the 2 people that listen to this show will probably follow you once they hear you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. You might want to start a fan page.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
I should do that. Anyway, Cash, where can people find you?
As always, hang out on the dark side of the moon there. I already used my second star joke. So.
Yeah, another one.
Anyway, I think it's CashTie007 on both Twitter and no, nothing else, just Twitter. Instagram too, but I don't Instagram a whole lot. I do it less than I Twitter, which anybody who follows me on Twitter.
Yeah,
I'm trying to do better. Now I don't have any excuses. Now I'm not doing anything, so I should tweet more. Facebook, Cash Morgan. And come the fall there, you'll be able to see me on the Second City stage.
Oh, that'll be nice too.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Joseph.
Taking all the bitches.
Rossi.
Whoa.
Joey Joseph.
Joe Winston.
That was perfect timing.
Yeah, it was. It's almost as if you planned it.
What about the PAX? You can follow me on Twitter, Joe the Man Rossi. I tweet every now and then, whenever I remember that I have a Twitter account.
Yeah.
That wasn't loud at all. No one will know. I thought you were going to eat a cookie.
Let's see. I have a Facebook page, but you can try adding me. We'll see what happens. Other than that,
So every once in a while, I get someone random that wants to follow me, and I don't know who the fuck they are. And I guess I've said it is like, look, if I don't know who the fuck you are, I'm probably not adding you, and I guess I'm following my own
Who
word.
the fuck is you, bitch?
yeah. If you want to add me, maybe say
Come up with a quick
message.
story.
Yeah. Because
Make
9
me
times
smile,
out of 10,
make me laugh.
if I don't recognize them, I assume it's some sort of bot.
Yeah, same here.
Especially if it's an attractive woman. Don't trust them.
Oh, yeah.
Attractive woman.
One of these, next time you're on, Kyle, I'm going to talk about the
I don't think
trash
he meant
troll.
you, Autumn.
I'm going to...
Attractive women. I don't trust them.
Winter. Spring. Summer.
I like where this is going.
What is going on here?
This is Kyle, though. This is what Kyle eventually does.
The 4 seasons.
This is what eventually Kyle does. What is it you said? You do not simply ask for Kyle to come on the show.
One does not.
What?
One does not simply ask Kyle to be on the show. I don't know what.
It was something. It was something along the lines of one does not simply ask Kyle to be on the show. You hope that he shows, or something like that.
I don't know.
Yes.
Anyways, so
next time you're on, I'm going to tell the story of the trapple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can update you. I've had many more.
Oh God, we're definitely doing
trash
that.
apple?
Yep.
is what is it? Fullerton's trash a higher quality than ours?
It really is. They
God.
usually because they're pretty greedy themselves, so they'll just throw away good food. Where I'm like, this has only been in here for a couple of days. This is still great.
You're going to lose every listener you have on this episode.
Well, next time we have you on, we're going to talk about that.
The last
'Cause it's
person,
hilarious.
the last person that was listening just turned it off.
If they were even coming back after our long hiatus.
Yeah.
Well,
All
they don't know that. Because we can make it look like we've been putting them out every week if we put them out every week.
I like his your face for that one. I liked it. The entire thing was very well done.
It's all in the
Congratulations.
delivery.
All right, of course.
Timing.
Whoa.
Timing. All right.
Timing.
Of course, you can always find me at Chris Goldie
Chris Goldie.
on Twitter.
Twitter.
Or
Between the butt cheeks.
on Facebook. All right. That's it, right? Isn't that how I ended the show? All right,
Pretty
we're
much,
done.
Yeah.
All right, we're done.
Timing.
Yeah.